everyone. Welcome back to the Love in Riyadh show. Today is June 10th, and today's episode has two very different stories, but both are about pride in their own way. One is a heartwarming family moment that had people emotional online, and the other is a massive piece of artwork that's slowly transforming one of Riyadh's most recognizable landmarks. Let's start with the father-daughter story. Because honestly, if you've seen the video, there's a good chance it got you a little emotional. Recent graduation celebration in Saudi Arabia turned into a beautiful moment between a father and his daughter. Now, graduations are already emotional, years of studying, years of hard work, years of support from family. But this one felt extra special. The daughter had just graduated and was preparing to serve the kingdom in her new role, and you could immediately see how proud her father was. The video starts with the two of them embracing, and honestly, you don't even need words to understand what's happening. You can see the pride on his face. You can see the emotion in the way he looks at her. It's one of those moments that every parent dreams about. And then came the part that really stood out. The father removed his own bisht and carefully placed it over his daughter's shoulders. And culturally, that's a pretty meaningful gesture. It wasn't just a piece of clothing. It felt like a symbol of pride, respect, honor, and support, all wrapped into one moment, almost like he was saying, I'm proud of you, without actually needing to say it. And then things got even better because the father became so overwhelmed with happiness that he started dancing. And not a little dance, a full celebration, big smile, waving his cane, completely embracing the moment. Honestly, that's what people loved most. There was no holding back, no trying to look serious, just pure joy. The kind of joy that comes from seeing someone you love achieve something important. And the whole thing ended with another hug that somehow managed to be even more emotional than the first one. I think that's why the video resonated with so many people, because it wasn't really about graduation. It was about family. It was about pride. And it was about celebrating someone's success as if it was your own. Now, speaking of things that are getting a lot of attention, let's head over to a different story, because one of the city's most prominent projects is getting a pretty dramatic visual update. The Tuwaiq Heritage Tower has started unveiling a massive mural of Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. And if you've driven along King Fahd Road recently, you've probably already noticed it. What's particularly interesting is who's behind the artwork. The mural is being created by Saudi artist Badr al-Balawi. And if you're familiar with his work, you'll know that large-scale national murals are kind of his specialty. Over the years, he's become known for creating eye-catching pieces across the kingdom. His murals have attracted attention in different cities, and his recent work in Unaiza generated plenty of discussion as well. Now he's taking on one of his biggest canvases yet, because we're talking about the Tuwaiq Heritage Tower, a project that stands around 305 meters tall and has already become one of Riyadh's most recognizable developments. And naturally, people are curious to see the final result. At the moment, the mural is still taking shape. But even in its unfinished state, it's already turning heads. And I think that's because people love watching something come together in real time, especially when it's happening on a structure this visible. Whether you're interested in architecture, public art, or simply seeing how Riyadh continues to evolve, it's definitely one of those projects that people are keeping an eye on. So today's stories were really about pride. One was a father proudly celebrating his daughter's achievement. The other was a Saudi artist leaving his mark on one of Riyadh's most prominent landmarks. Different stories, different settings, but both are reminders of how much meaning can be found in moments of recognition, celebration, and achievement. And honestly, that's never a bad note to end on. That's it for today. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode. Thank you for tuning into the Love in Riyadh podcast as part of the Augustus Media Podcast Network. Please hit that subscribe button wherever you get your podcast from.